Hi everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Michael. You're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. And today we'll be talking about a whole bunch of new footage that has come out. We did a previous episode on the final trailer, which is the final trailer. Then there was the Japanese trailer.
Yeah,
and then
J.J. Abrams said there's no more trailers after this, and there's a Japanese one. There's all this new footage from these TV spots.
And then there was the big TV spot. Yeah. But now there's been additional TV spots, as well as ABC did like an hour-long special over the weekend. And so there's like a minute-long sort of, basically another mini trailer. And there's a lot of, like, most of it's reused footage, but there is
cut together slightly
different, different music, different sort of tone. But there is a number of new pieces there, some of which are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I think one of the first ones that comes to mind is that you see Rey piloting, or getting ready to pilot the Millennium Falcon, and then you see Finn sitting in, the gunner's cockpit thing.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're on Jakku, because you can see desert outside.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the desert escape is not Han Solo coming to save them, it's Daisy Ridley owns the Falcon.
Oh, yeah.
And her and Finn get on it and hightail it out of there.
Yeah, that's completely possible, too. I don't really think
and
about
Finn
that.
is, like, doing, he's the tail gunner, basically.
Yeah. And I guess that's, like, also, we had heard that there's going to be some scenes in IMAX. I think that's going to be one of them, is this cool escape, right? That's going to happen.
Well, the other year when they were filming, they released a picture from the set showing an IMAX camera on set, and it was in the desert. And it looks like this is the only sequence that's in the desert.
Yeah.
It's the opening one.
It seems like this escape from Jakku is going to be like a really big, cool moment of them, shooting, like, pretty much everything you would expect to see from this sort of sky battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They obviously do run into Han Solo and Chewie at some point, though, so I'm wondering when, like, I keep bringing it up, like, how do they fit in there?
Yeah.
But that's pretty interesting. Another, probably the most interesting thing for me, anyway, is that you see Finn, Han, and Chewie on this sort of, like, foresty, jungly island sort of planet.
Yeah.
And you see them in the other trailer, they're, like, surrendering and being surrounded. But in the new one, you see more of the battle that takes place, and you see Finn with a lightsaber battling a stormtrooper with, like, one of those, like, electromagnetic staffs, like kind of like you see in Revenge of the Sith, with the Magna Guards.
So it's cool to see, like, them actually having a way to defend themselves against the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Also, another cool thing about this is sort of like, for the longest time, especially, in the original trilogy, the stormtroopers at one point just didn't become a threat at all.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool to see even, like, Finn with the lightsaber, who's, might be able to use the Force, to still has to struggle even with a regular, like, low-level stormtrooper fighter, because they have these weapons now, right?
Well, I think one of the beginning scenes is, like, the stormtroopers torching the village and, like, terrorizing people.
Yeah.
And they're constantly hunting down Finn and Rey, and then they can even defend against the lightsaber, so it's like the stormtroopers are actually going to be, like, threatening again.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of A New Hope, in that first scene where they blow the door open and they just gun down everyone.
Yeah.
And they're like, right away, you're like, holy crap, these guys are pretty badass.
And then it's downhill from there.
Yeah, downhill. So it was good at establishing that, but then they kind of lost that pretty quickly. So the new film looks to try to re-energize it. The stormtroopers, they're fodder, but they're also tough to mess with.
Yeah.
And you also get a look at new footage of Kylo Ren walking around the ruins of that castle, whatever it is, I'm not sure, and you see it being blown up. Yeah. And that's the same place as the X-Wing battle that takes place over water.
Yeah, one of the more interesting new things that we get to see is Han Solo handing Rey a blaster, right?
Oh,
Which people thought at first was going to look like a lightsaber because it's a very quick cut, but if you look at it again slowly, it's definitely some kind of blaster, like new type of gun, right?
It looks like it's the same blaster she uses against Kylo Ren where you see her firing at him.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it's the same one.
And on that note, is there some sort of connection to this blaster? Is the reason why he's giving it to her specifically? Like, the whole, maybe it's her father kind of deal. That's a pretty big rumor we hear often, right?
Yeah.
It seems kind of like, it might not be, though. It could just be anybody, realistically. It's just giving her the blaster and also the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. And towards the end of one of the last ones, you see Chewie and Han and Finn. It looks like they've snuck into an Imperial base or a bunker of some kind, and he says, like, "Are you ready for this?" He goes, "Hell no."
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. That also in the previous scene where you see Finn using the lightsaber, and there's that shot of Han, Chewie, and Finn sort of surrendering. It's always the three of them.
Yeah.
So it looks like there was a rumor that when they were filming, we did an episode on this, that they're infiltrating some sort of underground bunker there.
Yeah.
And so I think the three of them go off on their side mission, and then what happens to Rey is anyone's guess.
The thing is, even back then when we heard about it, we just thought it was going to be Han and Chewie. We didn't know anyone else was going to be there at all back when we heard this rumor. But now, definitely confirmed in this that Finn's with them at this point. But again, where is everybody else, right?
And Kylo Ren is there because we see him walking around in the new shots. Yeah. There was that concept art of, I guess it's Kylo Ren holding Rey captive, and we see him in a sort of castle-like structure that is similar to that. So I wonder if he meets her in the jungle there and takes her captive.
Yeah, like when he had the lightsaber down her neck or something like that.
And then Chewie, Han, and Finn go in, infiltrate it to go rescue her.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, actually.
That's my guess. I mean, I have very little to go on, but using concept art and footage and just guessing and stuff like that, it's not implausible. That
being said, I guess we're seeing a lot of TV spots now, and I'm getting super hyped for the movie because it's a month away. Yeah. But it's kind of getting a lot now. I'm really hoping to kind of see, less.
I think whatever new TV spots come out, I'm not going to watch them. I mean, the movie is only 2 hours long. We've seen probably combined 7 minutes of footage, which is that's 5% of the movie. It's not much, but I kind of feeling okay, I've had my fill, and now I just want to wait for the movie to come out.
Yeah, and it's only a month, so
Yeah, to this day, actually, as we're recording this right now, it's the 18th, and it comes out on the 18th. So.
Yeah, 4 weeks Thursday. Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway, leave us your feedback on what you thought of the new footage. Anything we may have missed, any sort of theories you have, stuff you liked, and we'll see you next episode.